Hi, I'm Pep Rosenfeld, and I welcome you to this Salesforce Leading Through Change episode. This one will focus on commerce. You folks in commerce know how hard it is to deal with this disruption that's happening right now. You're forced to change the way you do business and ask yourself tough questions. Questions like, how do I become a digital-first company? How can I set up my e-commerce in much less time than you would have thought necessary? And most importantly, but perhaps best of all, how can making the pivot to digital lay the foundation for sustained growth and success long after the disruption is behind us? Well, to help us answer these questions and more, this episode will feature a conversation with Dimitar Petkov, web shop manager for Marlies Dekkers, about what it means to become a digital-first company. So, enjoy the episode, and I'll be here getting ready to celebrate the summer.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Leading Through Change in Commerce. I'm Gurpreet Kaur.
And I'm Melissa Nsal.
And together we run product marketing here in Europe for Commerce Cloud. And we've got a great deal in store for you today as we discuss the impact of COVID on commerce across the globe. We're going to be joined by our wonderful customer trailblazer, Dimi Petkov from Marlies Dekkers, who's going to talk about how the brand has managed to sustain growth throughout the past few weeks. And finally, we're going to talk about how Commerce Cloud can help set you up for success at speed if you're struggling during this time. But first, I'd like to say a huge thank you. Thank you to our trailblazing customers like Marlies Dekkers, who are leading the way through this change. And I'd also like to say thank you to our key workers who are risking their lives to ensure our communities are safe day in and day out. Now, as you hear time and again, what's happening across the globe is unprecedented. And over the past few weeks, we've seen every business undergo rapid digitization, whether they can enable work from home, whether they're able to digitize their business at speed. We're finding that every business is trying to survive or stabilize their business or are thriving with unprecedented demand. And so amidst this uncertainty, many businesses are closed, but the internet is still very much open 24/7. And customers are still expecting those connected customer journeys and for you to bring in-store and in-person experiences online. And this means as a business, you need to optimize your digital offering fast. So with stores and field operations closed, there's a few common questions that we're hearing here at Salesforce. And one of them, if you've already got an e-commerce operation in place, it's all about how do I stay nimble and how do I improve my online experiences? And how can I connect that customer journey across multiple channels? But on the other side of the spectrum, where businesses never even foresaw in-store and in-person experiences being shut down, I mean, if we're being realistic, no one ever thought that would ever happen. We're seeing questions like, how do I get online fast? How can I lower my cost to serve? And how can I replace those in-person experiences with online ones? And most businesses are struggling through all of this noise to get through to their customers wherever they are. But in summary, what we're seeing is some key themes across the board, not only in B2C, but in B2B as well. So as most businesses shift online, they want to keep existing customers happy and loyal. So if they've got that e-commerce offering in place, it's all about moving at speed to provide those in-store experiences online. And Marlies Dekkers has some amazing examples of how they're doing that. So stay tuned to hear from them. Next, it's about moving online at speed because business buying hasn't stopped either. Manufacturers are still left without a face-to-face sales team on the ground. Retailers, some of them might not have any e-commerce operation either. So they really need to think about how they're going to digitize their sales channel. And on top of that, CPG companies get involved too. They're thinking, how can I cut costs? How do I go and cut the middleman out of this and sell directly to my consumers? So all in all, customers across B2B and B2C are expecting you online. And that expectation has grown. Where we thought it might be millennials and Gen Z, or where that used to be the case, it's now actually the elderly and less tech savvy that are relying on you to provide that digital experience. So how can Salesforce help? Well, we're all focused on a few key areas. Firstly, it's about how can we help our customers across both B2B and B2C get online quickly. We're also thinking about how to make it easier for customers to buy from home with buy online and pick up in store. We're also launching a curbside pickup option as well. And then it's all about our existing customers. How can we help them engage with their customers across every single channel in real time and help them to scale and meet demands to optimize their offering to their customers? So, with that, I would like to focus on optimization, on supporting our customers engaging on any channel, and invite our customer trailblazer, Dimi Petkov, a web shop manager at Marlies Dekkers, to talk about how they're using Salesforce Commerce Cloud to move online at speed and how they've changed engaging with their customers. Hey, Dimi, thank you so much for joining us today. And we're really looking forward to hearing your story and everything about Marlies Dekkers. Maybe you could start by telling us a little more about Marlies Dekkers and what your role is there.
Sure. Thank you, first of all, for giving us this opportunity to share our story with the rest of the community of Salesforce. Marlies Dekkers started over 25 years ago here in the Netherlands, and her personal mission was to empower women through her designs. And she did so. She did change the world of lingerie for good with her designs. And 3 years ago, I did join the company as a web shop manager. And I'm responsible for all the technical developments of the web shop and of the site, as well as all the surrounding operational processes. Very important task of mine is also the forecasting of stock and merchandising it. So I do work very closely with our demand planners. And you can imagine that in this time of lockdown and COVID-19 pandemic, it's very interesting time around merchandising and doing your forecasting of stock very right.
Of course. And, there's been so much going on with the lockdowns and the virus spread across the world. But what was the initial impact on your employees, your business, and your consumers as well?
Yeah, well, we were among the first Dutch retailers to close their stores in Belgium and in the Netherlands. And we did that because the safety of our staff and customers is just paramount for us. Overnight we had to adapt to a different way of working, just staying at home and work from home, from our kitchen counters or even some people from their own bedrooms. You can imagine that everybody missed each other this time. What we also saw immediately was a steep decline in our revenue in e-commerce. This combined with having to shut your stores down and your wholesale channel struggling presented itself as a big challenge to us. But instead of waiting, we immediately regrouped and we started brainstorming on different initiatives. How can we help the only channel that's still operating? How can we, revive it and make sure that instead of struggling, maybe it actually does even better?
That's incredible. And how did your employees adapt to working from home? And, are there any ways that you've engaged your store staff to help get them involved with your online channel?
Yeah, a good question. As I said, everybody was definitely in shock in the first day. And people did miss each other. We're a medium-sized business, so we work very closely with each other. But we try to keep a very close contacts online with each other. We did something fun for everybody. Every 2 weeks we have a pub quiz for the whole company, which is super, super fun. So in that sense, for the employees, we really try to stay together. Also, management and Marlies herself is very much online with everybody. So when the lockdown started, we decided to really rethink what's happening, and we said, okay, we can take a look at it in two ways. This is definitely an obstacle and a big barrier to continue, or this is an opportunity. We decided to look at it as an opportunity, which was driven by the idea of, hey, we need to stay safe, but we also need to stay positive, which later on became a much bigger, almost a campaign, which I can tell you a little bit later about it. But it was a crucial decision. Because what happened also, looking at it as a positive thing and trying to find a positivity in it, our store staff, very shortly after the lockdown started, actually reached out to us and said, hey, how can we help you? Which was amazing. And it just reconfirms how important it is to have a very good company culture. just to give you an example also of things maybe we did all together, not just the e-commerce team. A couple of weeks before the lockdown, we started working on a program which is fit and style appointments in our stores. It was a very important project to us, and we launched it. Everybody was very excited, but the lockdown being the new reality, you can imagine fit and style appointments in the stores were no longer possible. So the only direction for this program to continue was online. When we say that and try to get the first pilot, all the store staff got so enthusiastic. Everybody wanted to be part of it. Of course, we had to make some choices in the beginning, but we are rolling down now this towards all of our stores, and we are very, very excited about it. So is the store staff as well. And they were from the very beginning part of it, helping us, also being part of the working team. Another tremendous help from the store also came with writing copy for the website. Better than anyone else, they know our consumer and their needs. So they helped us actually build a whole brand new swimwear fitting room, which we're very excited about. It's gonna go live very soon, and we can't wait. And we definitely think that this is something which will live beyond COVID-19 lockdowns, pandemics, and definitely will help us also in general improve our brand discoverability online in Google, improve our SEO performance, and so forth. So to answer your question, yes, it was a shock, but all of the employees definitely jump hands-on, work together on all sorts of projects which helped us get through this.
That's incredible. And you've given a really great example of how you've taken, offline experiences online. Are there any other parts of the business where you've had to rethink your offering, directing offline customers online? I think we've spoken previously about your outlets, for example.
Yeah. Interesting question. I think a lot of Salesforce customers are already maybe do something about it. We did as well. With the store shut down, with our outlet store shut down, with wholesale shut down, we had to do something. We couldn't just leave those loyal customers of ours, fans, to go nowhere basically. So we use, besides Commerce Cloud, also Marketing Cloud, and all of our customer databases there. And that was very useful because we could segment very well our store customers, also our specifically outlet store customers. So the very first thing that we did is make sure that all of them get a complimentary free delivery, so they don't have an obstacle shopping online. The other thing that we came up with was an online outlet. In these times, there is no time also to think, should we have it locked? Should we not have it locked with a login and all these questions? So we decided, okay, if we want to make it happen, we need to act fast. So we sat down with the merchandisers and demand planners. We pulled together all the stock possible that we could, reshuffle to really did our best. At the same time, the rest of the thing made sure that the category is live. Our CRM marketeers helped with getting the message out to specifically those outlet consumers. That was just amazing. And a couple of weeks later, we harvest the results of it. We can say it was really a great success, and we hope that we definitely have reached out all of our customers in this way, also the offline ones.
That's incredible, Dimi, because it's so difficult for so many businesses out there to keep up with all of the changes, and you've really pivoted all of your operations, really successfully online. So I've seen on your site that you guys are doing an incredible job with messaging and content. Maybe you could share a little bit about the immediate changes that you made to keep your community informed and uplifted during this time.
First of all, thank you for the kind words, and thank you for noticing our efforts. I'll definitely also pass on your feedback and compliments to the rest of the team, because it was not me alone doing everything. As I said, from the first moment, we decided to look at this as something positive, and we made sure that also our communication was in a positive tone. At the end of the day, also we made sure that customers understand we are not the only one in this, so they are not also alone in this. We are all together in a lockdown, in a very big challenge. So, this time it's maybe very tempting to go into this fear-driven, maybe negative communication. However, for us, that would have meant that we wouldn't stay true to who we are as a brand, to our vision and to our mission. So Marlies herself played a very key role in setting up this tone of voice, and also inspiring us to think further in ways how can we live up to our mission of inspiring women. And this was overarched by the idea of we need to stay positive, but we also need to stay safe. So what we did very quickly is we made a landing page for our customers where we addressed them. Personally, our CEO wrote a message to all of the customers. We kept daily updates and still do on order statuses, deliveries, all kind of changes that there might be, or any hot topics relating back to the business. So this is I think a very important thing to happen and to realize as a business. Communication towards your client is crucial, not only as a separate thing, but also on the key points of customer journey. We know people look to see if the stores are open, so we made sure that we have messaging in our store finder. That difference, for example, retail store, a normal full price store from an outlet store. The same goes, for example, if somebody is doubting, is it safe to shop online? We make sure that our partners are making contactless delivery, and we communicated this through our website, in the bag, in the checkout. These are very crucial small steps which everybody could take in order to improve, for example, their results online.
That's incredible. And, I know that you've got an amazing campaign at the moment. It looks great. I'd love to hear more about it. It's called Bring the Summer Inside. Could you tell us a little bit how that content's been developed and what the future looks like for that content?
To start with, that's maybe my favorite project that we run in the past month and a half, since we are all in a lockdown. And maybe a few words why this campaign is also so important to us. 50% of our stock offering and product offering in this season is swimwear. And swimwear is heavily relying on the idea that customers are gonna go in the summer for a sunny holiday somewhere on an exotic island or a beautiful beach. So this immediately presented a challenge. Are we gonna be able to sell our products, our swimwear products? And 50% is a lot to miss in a season. So we all thought, how can we make this interesting to the customer? How we can tie this all up in the current situation, in the global pandemic and the lockdowns that we live in. So we all needed a holiday, whether we go or not, that's another question, but we all needed it. And it's up to us to if we don't go, to make us feel like we were on a holiday. So we thought, let's ask people, bring the summer inside. That's also tying it back to our staying positive. It's also empowering women in a way. So it came kind of naturally in a way. It lived up to all of our mission and vision as a brand, and it brings so much positivity and inspires and motivates women. I would really advise you, go and check it out. It's not just a campaign which stops with a banner on your homepage or something. It's so much more. It resonates through all the pages of the website, and that's also another project that we would like to carry over, build upon. We have so many ideas as well to do contests, giveaways, and so forth. Enrich further the content. We've produced a lot of content for it. We've asked a lot of customers and bloggers to take pictures of themselves being on a holiday at home. Having their staycation, so to say, in the summer. So it's a very interesting campaign. Go check it out.
Absolutely. I'd recommend it as well. It's incredible what you're saying, and I'm sure everyone would benefit from taking a look. So I guess this campaign is one that will go beyond lockdown. So are there any other initiatives that we've spoken about that you're going to carry forward, or any learnings from the changes that have taken place the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, certainly this campaign will remain. Another project that will remain, as I said, was the online fit and style appointments, which we're very proud to be able to offer also this choice to customer after the lockdowns are over everywhere. Another thing that we are very proud, and I think will carry over, and we hope to develop further, is the online swimwear fitting room, and I can't wait for it to see it live.
That's awesome. And my final question here, Dimi, is what is your advice to businesses that are pivoting to digital, or for a small business that needs to get started online very quickly?
Let me start with this. In the beginning, I said that we saw a steep decrease in our e-commerce revenue in the very first days, but we took upon so many different projects, which we came up together with the whole as a company and as a team, broadly speaking. Now I can say that we saw definitely a very big uplift actually in our e-commerce now being weeks forward and having to execute and work on all these exciting projects, and this is an effort of the whole company. So a few key learnings I can take out of this is stay positive, very important, seek all of the opportunities presented, act quickly. You can always perfect afterwards the things you've already created, and that will give you definitely a competitive advantage. If you're not online, we all have to be online, and it's not just about this pandemic. I think it's beyond also what we're talking about. Online is just becoming so important, and there is no way forward without being online, basically. So and last but not least is make sure you engage on every single possible way with your customers. They're the people who make your brand. So I think these are the three very important learnings: stay positive, act quickly, and engage online with your customers.
Some fantastic actionable insights there. Thank you so much for sharing your story around Marlies Dekkers. Really resilient story and great for us to hear. We wish you continued success in your journey, and thank you for speaking to us, and hopefully we'll have you back very, very soon, Dimi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Great. So guys, you've heard all about how a business can pivot their online operations very quickly in the face of uncertainty. But what if you don't have an online platform already? Well, I'd like to pass over to my colleague, Melissa Ansal, who's going to talk to you a little bit about a continuation around the same topic that we've just spoken about and how important it is to pivot your experiences, but also a little bit about how you can get online very, very quickly. So please welcome my colleague, Melissa Ansal.
Thank you, Gurpreet. So we just saw a quick glimpse of how Marlies Dekkers is finding completely new ways to engage with their customers, from chatbots to online fitting rooms and personal shopping. Because the customer expectation hasn't gone away, but it's only going to continue to rise. And the move to online is only accelerated with COVID-19, which is why it's even more critical for businesses, such as yourselves, to engage and connect with customers by offering digital journeys that are even more connected and personalized than ever before. So if your business is online, the next best thing to do is focus on strengthening the relationships with your customers, especially in times of uncertainty such as this. And we all know relationships are built on trust. So one way to build this trust with your customers is to show them that you really know them. Add value to their journey by delivering personalized experiences that are connected across all touchpoints with your brand. But not only is this a nice thing to do, but as we saw in the previous slide, this really is the expectation today. Another way to strengthen this trust is to support and guide your customers through these uncertain times with helpful content and relevant updates to keep them informed as news unfolds. Why not delight your customers across every single touchpoint, from when they first hit your site, walk them through a frictionless purchasing experience, and through to a highly personalized post-purchasing and support experience. So we took a look at how Marlies Dekkers is strengthening their online presence and offering. But what about businesses that currently don't have an e-commerce solution? Let's take a look at some avenues for you to consider to quickly get your B2C or B2B business online. The first option is to go direct to consumer. So customers often prefer to buy directly from the source when possible, because there's an understanding that they're going to receive a more premium experience when they buy directly from the brand itself. And according to Forbes, 40% of manufacturers are already selling direct. Going direct to consumer unlocks new channels for businesses not only to drive growth and revenue, but to transform their consumer experiences with unprecedented access to first-party data on their customers. As brands, companies, and manufacturers become more comfortable with selling direct to consumers, this trend is only going to continue to grow. So how can you get started? So if you're new to selling direct, Salesforce can help you get set up in a matter of weeks with a powerful out-of-the-box functionalities that can get you online fast. And whether you're entering a new country, exploring new opportunities in different languages, or targeting a completely new customer segment, you need a trusted, flexible platform that can scale with your business. And finally, getting your brand online also means you now have more control over the experience you want to drive. Automate steps throughout the purchasing process and embed intelligence to not only deliver one-to-one experiences at scale, but also manage your cost to sell. So what about B2B? The B2B industry is similarly going through a massive refocus as businesses quickly adapt to the new circumstances brought on by COVID-19. And although it's been difficult to navigate some of the harder and darker stories around COVID-19, here are a few that give me hope that come from the industry and our customers. Some of who are completely pivoting their operations to develop and sell new products, others who are leveraging existing supply chains to help their communities, and some just accelerating their investment in digitizing their B2B channels during this time to completely adapt to the new normal. And although businesses who are not in the essential goods or healthcare sectors, this might be a little bit of a difficult year, there is a silver lining for some to take advantage of. The opportunity is to span the gap to build long-term growth. Those businesses that can adapt fast and leverage digital channels at the core of their businesses are going to win. With face-to-face channels completely off the table now and quite restricted in the near future, especially for B2B, what was once visionary is now mandatory. This move towards digitalization in the B2B space was true even before COVID-19 began to have an impact, but it's most certainly true now. COVID-19 has only been an accelerator for B2B commerce and is critical in the next phase of growth for businesses. If your business is without an effective digital commerce channel, or you don't have a way to reach your customers online and digitally engage them, you have a big problem, because this is where your customers are and will be looking for you. As further evidence supports this digital movement, 62% of B2B buyers can finalize a vendor list completely just based on the digital assets and content available. And only 15% of B2B buyers even want to speak to an agent when they're reordering. So if you are a B2B business thinking of how you can pivot online, the good news is we have a solution that can help you launch a site in just a matter of weeks. Empower your customers to buy from your business online while delivering the one-to-one experiences and personalization to keep them happy and loyal. To summarize everything we've talked about today, we are truly in unprecedented times. Businesses across B2B and B2C alike, across all these different industries, are rethinking how they survive, stabilize, and thrive in this new normal. And this is why Salesforce has developed an entire suite of products on our commerce platform for businesses such as yourself to not only address the challenges of today, but of tomorrow.